stabbing victim speaking out tonight. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Jamila Mizik. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, the nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, leading off debate on the supplementary budget this morning in the House of Assembly. Prime Minister Davis explaining why the government made certain cuts within the government sector. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis assuring Bahamians that the Ministry of Finance has begun the process to address unfunded liabilities.
This would include the creation of a sinking fund or funds to ensure that when obligations are due, we're able to pay them. It is for this reason the public will not see a line item for the $1 billion in the supplementary budget. But I wish to be clear that this administration does not intend to default on any of its obligations. This administration will address its financial obligations in an orderly and timely manner. We will not betray the trust of persons who have engaged in business with the Bahamian government in good faith.
The nation's chief also addressing the $2.1 million decrease in the education budget. He says the decrease was the result of the findings of an audit to remove all inactive persons from the payroll.
Other savings were identified due to the continuation of virtual learning with certain expenses associated with in-person learning and thus not required for a portion of the school year. To be clear, the operations of the Ministry and the Department of Education were not impacted by this removal of inactive people from the payroll or the reduction in expenses due to virtual learning. The Ministry of Youth and Sports and Culture saw a $1.9 million decrease in its budget. That represented savings due to there being no John Canoe Parade this year. The Ministry of the Environment saw a $7.8 million decrease that represents monies transferred to the ministry related to the Bahamas National Trust, as well as the transfer of the Bahamas Public Parks and Beaches Authority to the Ministry of Works and Utilities.
He notes that the Ministry of Disaster Preparedness Management and Reconstruction no longer exists. However, he says the nation's disaster response budget remains in place. Instead, it has been moved to the Office of the Prime Minister to go towards the Bahamas Disaster Reconstruction Authority. Davis adding that the budget cuts are simply instances in which the government has streamlined for efficiency or the funds have been reallocated to achieve the same objective.
Madam Speaker, in this budget cycle, we'll see the launch of the Public Debt Advisory Committee to strengthen the nation's debt strategy. We'll see the reestablishment of a fully resourced Revenue Enhancement Unit with the goal of minimizing tax avoidance and fraud. We'll also see the formation of the Revenue Policy Committee, comprised of our brightest fiscal and economic minds, to develop reforms related to revenue collection and policy. Our fiscal goals remain unchanged. As our term progresses, we will unveil further reforms to strengthen the country's revenue model.
Meanwhile, leader-designate of Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition, Michael Pintard, was presented with the instruments of office at a ceremony in the nation's capital today. Pintard was elected leader of the Free National Movement during the party's one-day convention in New Providence over the weekend. The Member of Parliament from Marco City will now serve in the halls of Parliament as leader of Her Majesty's Most Loyal Opposition. The Grand Bahama MP won by an overwhelming margin of 297 votes. His parliamentary colleagues Kwesi Thompson received 103, while Aram Lewis received 44 votes. In other news, the newly appointed chairman of the Bahamas Development Bank making his first official visit to Grand Bahama since assuming that post. During a press briefing, Senator Quintin Lightbourne outlined details of funding available to entrepreneurs in the blue, orange, and green economies. Shishina Rolfarkason reports.
Chairman of the Bahamas Development Bank, Senator Quentin Lightbourne, making his first official visit to Grand Bahama to further promote the role of the BDB and its initiatives.
Okay, some of the plans and initiatives of the Bahamas Development Bank in Grand Bahama is that we want to ensure that industrial industries are enhanced and developed. You know, as we all know that Second City, Grand Bahama is, targeted or labeled as the industrial hub. And that's one of the things that the Bahamas Development Bank wants to do to ensure that small business or persons that want to expand and create businesses through the Bahamas Development Bank, that we will be able to use or be a vehicle to ensure that those businesses come to fruition.
He says Grand Bahama is not forgotten, and entrepreneurs must take advantage of the opportunities that are available.
Now, the Bahamas Development Bank is on a new course where we want to develop green industries in terms of the environment, blue industries in terms of hydro and all agriculture, fisheries aspect, and the orange economy, which deals with culture, that deals with the artisans, that deals with, plays, drama, theater, all of those things, videography, and that is where we are now at the Bahamas Development Bank, that we want to enhance the country in a plethora of areas.
He says the Bahamas Development Bank offers microloans and startup loans. Here's how you can access funding.
So we have an application process where you can go on our website, bahamasdevelopmentbank.com, and then also the Grand Bahama office is here. The staff is fully capable that they'll be able to assist and walk you through the application process and what is needed. And I think that's one of the awareness that we want to do, that that we're here and persons are willing to assist. And I just want to let the general public know that there is avenues for you to try and expand your business.
As the youngest chairman in the bank's history, Lightbourne shares his passion for the advancement of young entrepreneurs and how the BDB can assist them.
As a millennial myself, I think that entrepreneurship and empowerment is something that we must strive forward to, and I think it's very possible that it can happen, and the Bahamas Development Bank will do everything that it is in its power to ensure that that becomes a reality.
Shashina Farquharson, ZNS Network News.
The mother of an 18-year-old stabbing victim sharing the hurt and pain behind losing her eldest child. She believes the recent spate of violence within the 8 Mile Rock community must be addressed on all levels. Shashina Farquharson reports.
A mother in the 8 Mile Rock community mourning tonight the loss of her 18-year-old son, who was stabbed to death just feet away from his home.
Rayvon, natural clown. Everybody who know Rayvon, clown. You could be going to something serious and he can come right there and he can joke. He can make you laugh.
That's how mother Charlene Farrison Jean described her 18-year-old son, who was recently killed near a business establishment in 8 Mile Rock. Rayvon Jean, she says, loved his family and friends, as she added that he had a heart of gold.
They used to tell me, say, that's my baby, that's my favorite child.
Recalling the moment she found out that her son was stabbed, the grieving mother says when she received the call, she had no idea that he had died.
No, because when we reached the hospital, they seemed like it's just one little stab. I said, okay, just one little stab. They can stitch him up. They can say, come for your child, he good. Or if you have to stay 2 days, I wasn't prepared. I tell you, they told me my child was dead, and I still was telling everybody. He on life support, he in the coma. I don't know what was going through my mind. They're saying he's still alive, he can make it. That time he was already dead. When I go in that room, and she was trying to tell me, one of the nurses, I can't remember her name, but I thank God for, because she prayed with them. And she's saying they do the best they could do. I feel like that, like it wasn't my child when he stopped. Like he's just stopped me in my heart. Because what he could do to y'all, for y'all to stop him like that, ain't nothing he could do.
According to police reports, a group of persons at a business establishment were involved in an altercation where the 18-year-old victim was stabbed to the upper body. He was transported to hospital via private vehicle where he was seen by doctors but later died.
My second oldest now, the 15-year-old boy, he ain't even cry yet. The little said every time I say, they still ask me when Rayvon coming home. They still ain't believe it.
Jean says her son always had a strange premonition that he would die before her.
Like, I have this picture on my phone. I always say, you see, Rayvon, when you do my obituary, y'all better don't burn me because I can hunt y'all if y'all burn me. I always tell him that. And I say, you see the same picture? Put this on my obituary. He say, I ain't putting that because I can dead before you. Think I want to see that? I can't see you dead. He always say I can dead before you.
She leaves this message to parents.
Keep the boys them home. Like, I know sometimes boys just hang out with friends. I rather them come. I used to tell them, you know how much time in here used to be packed with his friends? I rather them be inside playing game. You know where your children are. You know where your kids are. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Never.
Now, Rayvon was set to celebrate his 19th birthday on December 14th. Instead, his mother is left behind, making funeral arrangements for December 18th. Investigations are continuing into this matter. Shashina Rule-Farquharson, ZNS Network News.
Now, a suspect in that fatal stabbing was arraigned before the court. On Thursday, November 25th, Jake Rigby of 8 Mile Rock was charged with murder and was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services until March 21st next year. Meanwhile, police on Grand Bahama investigating a shooting incident which occurred on Friday night that sent 4 men to the hospital. Megan Shepard has that story.
24 hours after a double murder in the 8 Mile Rock community, police on Grand Bahama were once again called to the scene of a shooting incident, this time in the Freeport area. Press liaison, Assistant Superintendent of Police Steve Roll, says that shortly after 8 p.m., officers responded to the scene at Cornwallis Place and Columbus Drive.
Upon their arrival, they received reports that 4 males were shot while at a residence here in the Cornwallis. EMS attended the scene. 3 of the males were transported to Durham Hospital for medical attention. The 4th male would have fled the scene, where he was later transported to Durham to seek medical attention. The initial report is that 3 of the males were shot in the leg, and 1 of the males were grazed to the head. At this time, the injuries are non-life threatening, and we are still have this matter under active investigation.
Once again, ASP Roll is urging Bahamians, particularly young men, to find a better way to resolve conflicts.
Any matter when it comes to shooting is an alarm for the police. And I can assure you that we are doing all in our endeavor best to make sure this this minimal occurrence in Grand Bahama and even in the Bahamas. We want to urge the public to cease and desist and put these guns down. Like I said last night, we need to find ways to resolve conflicts among our young men. And hopefully that those who may have any information in regards to this matter tonight, to feel free and call the police or the Central Detective Unit or the Criminal Investigation Department at 350-3106.
Now, while this matter is still under investigations and no cause of the shooting has been confirmed, ASP Roll did issue this warning as it relates to illegal gambling.
When it comes to gambling in the Bahamas, it's illegal for any persons to be engaged in any type of gambling unless you applied to the gaming board to have a license to operate any gambling facility. So we want to urge persons in the community who find themselves engaged in these type of activities to cease. And if you're found, you will be arrested and put before the courts.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Still on the crime beat, police are investigating an armed robbery incident. According to reports on Friday, November 26, shortly after 11 p.m., police received a report of an attempted armed robbery in the South Bahamian area. Initial investigations revealed that a female had arrived at her home when she was accosted by an unknown male who struck her to the head with an unknown object while attempting to rob her of her belongings. The male then fled in an unknown direction. EMS attended the scene and transported the victim to the Ram Memorial Hospital. Investigations continue. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this break.
Come on down. Come on down. Now.
Spreading Christmas cheer to everybody whether far or near. Move to the rhythm of Christmas round.
Did you hear that? Is it Santa? Get your chance to win $1,000 each week when you sign up for BTC Internet. With the Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle, enjoy 150 megabits of speed per second and 157 channels for only $99.99.
This Christmas, make it BTC. It's the better choice for you and me. Move to the rhythm of Christmas. Move to the rhythm of BTC.
Park and Shop downtown Freeport is having a Thanksgiving and pre-Christmas sale. 25% off store-wide, excluding all underwear and red tag items. November 25th through the 30th, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
Hi, I am Corporal 3230 Perez Demerit of the Traffic Division, Grand Bahama. You can prevent a serious traffic accident by practicing safe driving. Here are a few traffic safety tips. Obey all traffic signals and traffic signs. Wear your seatbelt at all times. Reduce your speed and drive with due care and attention. Pull over to answer your cell phone, send a text message, or attend to any distractions, such as kids, pets, reading the newspaper, or eating. Finally, do not drink and drive. If you plan on drinking, use a designated driver. After all, it's all about creating safer communities.
King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Health and Wellness advising the public that as a consequence of the identification of a new COVID variant of the concern, Omicron, the government of the Bahamas has imposed travel restrictions on travelers from the following countries with effect at midnight tonight: Botswana, Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. Individuals not ordinarily resident in the Bahamas who have traveled to, through, or from these countries within the last 14 days will not be allowed entry into the Bahamas at this time. Individuals who are ordinarily resident, that is citizens, permanent residents, and individuals with work permits, may be permitted to enter the Bahamas, but will be subject to mandatory quarantine for 14 days at their own expense and will undergo screening as mandated by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. This advisory applies to individuals who are vaccinated or unvaccinated. All other existing entry requirements as outlined in the COVID Health Services Rules 2021 must be adhered to. The Ministry of Health and Wellness strongly advises against travel to the countries mentioned at this time. For additional information, you can contact the Ministry of Health and Wellness at 242-502-4700. And in the spirit of Thanksgiving, a former patient at the Grand Bahama Health Services returning to the Ram Memorial Hospital to say thank you to the staff there for providing her with excellent service during her time at the island's premier healthcare facility. Chandri's Woodside Roll says after a life-threatening incident, she was transported to the Ram Memorial Hospital. The former patient noting that it was the quality care she received from the healthcare facility that prompted her to return to say a big thank you to the entire staff for not only helping to save her life, but the lives of many others on a daily basis.
Everybody was just overwhelmingly, extraordinarily nice. And they didn't know who I was. I'm pretty sure they didn't know who I was. Because when I got there initially, the security kept asking me, "Are you okay? Are you okay? You think you need a nurse? Your brother said this, your brother said that." So it was just pure organic concern that I felt from every single person that I interacted during that time.
She says she's forever grateful to the healthcare professionals for helping her to make the best decision possible and is encouraging them to continue to do their best.
God was definitely on display from the start to the finish, because there were so many incidents where I knew it was only God. And so I just want to say thank you again from the bottom of my heart. You are all angels in my eyes, and continue to do the work that you are doing is just so selfless. It's just amazing that you put your lives on the line day after day. And whether you hear thank you or not, I'm just here to say thank you from the rest of us.
Deputy Medical Chief of Staff Dr. Winston Forbes noting that this year has been a trying year for the Grand Bahama Health Services due to the huge impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. He says it is difficult every day getting up and taking care of so many patients during these adverse times, especially given the outcome they've been seeing.
In order to continue to wake up and doing your all, giving your all, I think it is nice to actually interact with some positive results, because most hospitals, most healthcare facilities had at least 70 to 80% mortality, and some closer to 100%. And so it is very difficult keeping yourself motivated when you face with those type of conditions. But I think gestures like this gives us more energy to continue to wake up and fight another day. So I'm particularly grateful for Mrs. Rowe's recognition, and not just of the doctors and nurses, but the whole healthcare workers, because at the end of the day, it does take a team effort from top to bottom in order to save a life.
Senior Assistant Hospital Administrator Sharonette Norville-Smith says it is their aim to ensure that their patients are satisfied.
We are delighted that Mrs. Rowe deemed it necessary to come back and say thank you. While we recognize that the Grand Bahama Health Services may have its challenges, but on recognizing this, we are prepared and willing to stand up to the challenges and deal with them one by one, strategically and methodically.
And now it is time for a check on sports with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to sports. It was a beautiful weekend of basketball on the island of Bimini for Division I women's hoops. Two powerhouse conference teams playing for bragging rights with the tournament resume on the line early on in the season. Let's jump into action. Final day of competition at the NCAA Division I Gombe Splash Women's Basketball Tournament on the beautiful island of Bimini at the Gateway Christian Academy School Gymnasium between the 5-0 UNT Tar Heels, fresh off a 72-58 win over VCU the day before, going up against the University of Washington Huskies with a 2-2 record. The Huskies got on the board first with a deep three from junior guard T.T. Watkins. The Huskies again running its half-court offense to get a backdoor layup from Lauren Swartz. The Tar Heels would answer with a shifty layup from Deja Kelly for the basket and a trip to the charity stripe. Now it's Carolina's turn to showcase their half-court set with excellent ball movement with a pin-down screen for Ava Hodges, who then opened up for 3 of her game-high 15 points. At the half, the Tar Heels has a commanding 32-13 lead. Jumping into second half action, Kelly continuing to find the gaps for another 3-point opportunity the old-fashioned way. Just minutes later in transition, Deja Kelly navigating the lane to find her sweet spot for a nice mid-range jumper to cap an 11-point performance from the 5'8" sophomore guard. And from there on, ladies and gents, it was all UNC clicking from all cylinders to run away with a 58-37 victory to win the first ever Gombe Splash Women's Basketball Tournament.
This was a great experience for us to come out here to y'all's island. And we had a blast. It was obviously it topped it off to win the championship. So we really enjoyed our time here. These wins were big for us. These were two, especially this game. This is a Power 5 team that we beat. So this will definitely give us some more confidence going into the rest of the season. We still have a lot more work to do, but these were two really good wins for us.
It's been 2 years since basketball has been played in Bimini, but the man with the vision, Apostle Gilbert Rhodes Sr., says he's excited that it's back.
To see the dream come back again, you know, the people are excited. We're excited to see it again because, you know, we had nothing to do on the island for a little while. And so now it's movements again to see that we can move around. Proper protocol is already put in place. And so it brings great excitement and joy. You know, people come in, they're spending, they're going to straw vendors, they're living in rooms, they are renting golf carts. And so it boosts not only the people, but the economy. And so not only that, just to see that we can move around again as a family. And so this is very exciting to have Gombe Splash, it was John Canoe Jams, Gombe Splash back in Bimini once again. And we are forever grateful to have them, and we welcome them every time.
And that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Elevate your fiber home internet and unlock an unlimited mobile experience.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with Z&S to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
Pandora is having a Black Friday sale. Save 30% from November 24th through the 30th. Shop Pandora this holiday season and save. Save online at Paint Fair today through Wednesday and in-store Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Visit paintfair.net or Facebook for details.
The Ministry of Health is working to ensure the safety of the Bahamian people. Help us minimize the risk that coronavirus poses to citizens, residents, and visitors by following these 5 easy steps. Step 1. Wet your hands with clean water. Apply soap and lather for 20 seconds by rubbing them together. Include the top of your hands between your fingers and under your fingernails. Rinse your hands under clean water, then dry them with a paper towel or air dry them. Remember to wash your hands before and after eating, preparing a meal, changing a diaper, or caring for the sick, and always after using the bathroom, touching money, shaking hands, or taking out the trash. Step 2. Cough and sneeze in your elbow or upper sleeve, not in your hands, not in the air. Or you can cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Put your used tissue in the trash bin when you're finished. Remember to wash your hands with soap and clean water after you cough or sneeze. Also, remember never to spit on the ground, roads, or in open spaces. Step 3. Ensure that raw meat is properly handled and cooked thoroughly. Step 4. Avoid sharing drinking glasses, eating utensils like spoons and forks, or sharing personal items such as toothbrushes and towels. Germs can live on surfaces we touch, so wipe and disinfect surfaces where germs can live, and keep your surroundings clean. Step 5. Avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illness, such as coughing or sneezing. Should you or anyone you know feel that you have been exposed to the coronavirus, contact the surveillance unit of the Ministry of Health immediately. To reach us, call 502-4776, 502-4790, or 502-4737. We want Bahamians and those that live with and visit us to remain safe from the coronavirus. To do this, we need the help of each and every one of you to follow the simple steps we have shared. Let's stay safe, Bahamas.
BTC spreading Christmas cheer to everybody whether far or near. Move to the rhythm of Christmas round.
Did you hear that? Is it Santa?
Get your chance to win $1,000 each week when you sign up for BTC Internet. With the super fast Extreme Internet Bundle, enjoy 150 megabits of speed per second and 157 channels for only $99.99.
This Christmas make it BTC. It's the better choice for you and me. Move to the rhythm of Christmas. Move to the rhythm of BTC.
1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Christine Lightborn Darvo, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We appreciate your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Jamila Mizek. Thank you so much for joining us. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, debate on the supplementary budget opens. A female takes over as Prime Minister. The Free National Movement's new leaders sworn in. And a 5-year MOU for local farmers. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapindo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for joining us. The government reveals the dollars and cents of what it terms its relief budget, one that calls for certain trade-offs. Still, the country's leader assures that his government has consulted widely and is optimistic that what's being put in place will not only address the fiscal situation, but take care of the people. We begin tonight with the Prime Minister's contribution to the 2021-2022 supplementary budget. As expected, recurrent expenditure has shot up. And based on the figures Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Philip Davis, disclosed in the House of Assembly Monday morning, and that's by an increased $53.2 million. Of that money, some $19.6 million will be pumped into the Ministry of Public Service to fund pensions and gratuities for retired civil servants. As foreshadowed, annual incremental increases for civil servants will also make a return. This while the Ministry of Finance's budget has been bumped up by $31+ million, a huge chunk of which will go to extending the unemployment benefit program. As for where capital expenditure stands, well, that's been lowered by $54.2 million.
The agency with the biggest reduction is the Ministry of Health, with a net reduction of $14 million. What we have done is move the $19 million that was allocated for the Rand Hospital in anticipation of major works taking place in the next fiscal year. It ain't gonna be it can't happen this year. So it doesn't need to have that in your budget now. We have, in the short term, though, put in place the $5 million for hospital repairs and maintenance for this fiscal year.
The Ministry of Finance's capital budget has also taken a nearly $21 million hit.
The highlights of this decrease include over $9,169,998 for IDB capital projects. $4 million for the allocation of the development of the Prospect Ridge subdivision, and $5 million for small business development.
And as for the revenue side of things,
we've adopted the existing revenue estimates for the remainder of the fiscal year and boosted them by only $92 million more than forecasted. The $92 million simply recognizes the actual revenue above forecast that was recorded in the first quarter of this fiscal year. We have made no adjustment for the ending of the emergency orders, the reestablishment of the Revenue Enhancement Unit, or the continuation of the vaccination program. I note, however, that all of these things are revenue positives.
The government is meantime awaiting the final report from a private sector accountant on the $1 billion difference in liabilities it discovered upon taking office. Well, now, we also saw the Prime Minister again fiercely defending his government's proposal to reduce value-added tax from 12% to 10% come January. Davis reasoning that his government has been very intentional with its VAT reform.
I want the Bahamian people to know that our VAT decisions are supported by data, research, and consultations with local and global experts. We considered every scenario possible, and at the end of our research and consultations, we were confident that we were making the right choice. So those who seek to mischaracterize our decision-making know that there are independent experts at UB, within the public service, and internationally, whose data-backed work, you'll likewise be attempting to mischaracterize.
As set out, the VAT bill does not seek to reimpose such tax on home insurance nor the rental of non-commercial properties. What it does is make the purchase of fuel for private planes VATable. Davis making this quite clear while condemning the former government's decision to give a refund on services that did not generate VAT, like transshipment services.
Stranger still was the decision to pay refunds for the period during which these services providers were not eligible. These refunds were casually put into the budget as prior year arrears. So here you had the spectacle of the government amending the VAT legislation to give refunds to non-Bahamian companies with billions of dollars under the guise of an unpaid bill left by a PLP administration. This is indefensible, an absolute disgrace.
Well, moments after his contribution in the House of Assembly, Prime Minister Davis left the country for Barbados. There he'll attend that country's historic ceremony of breaking colonial ties with Britain by removing Queen Elizabeth II as head of state to officially become a republic. The ceremony will take place at midnight tomorrow in Bridgetown. Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, will serve as acting Prime Minister until Friday, December 3rd. This considering Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, left the country yesterday for Zurich, Switzerland. Mrs. Hannah Martin wished the Prime Minister well on his trip before he boarded a plane at Jet Aviation. The acting Prime Minister then left in the official Prime Minister's vehicle. A Member of Parliament for Seabreeze, Leslie Miller-Bryce, seconding the 2021-2022 supplementary budget, along with the value-added tax amendment number 2, noting that, among other things, it begins the process of reducing the high level of borrowing.
While we cannot engage in borrowing because the former administration did that in excess, this government is striking a balance to bring immediate relief. Thirdly, the F&M administration did not comply with the IMF to reveal to them the recipients of monies they borrowed. Meanwhile, this current government is waiting on the results of a detailed report which would give us an indication of exactly where we are fiscally. However, Madam Speaker, the budget will reintroduce the annual lump sum increments to civil servants, which was stopped by the former administration.
Hundreds of millions paid out in unemployment benefits over the course of the COVID-19 pandemic. That detailed by the minister responsible for the National Insurance Board, the Honorable Miles LaRota, during his contribution to the supplementary budget debate this afternoon.
To date, the government-funded Unemployment Assistance Extension Program has paid out in excess of $190 million. To 34,319 persons. The program was scheduled to remain in effect until September 2021, has been extended until December 31st, 2021, with beneficiaries to also receive an additional lump sum payment of $500 to be paid in mid-December 2021. The estimated cost of this stimulus is around $6.5 million.
Former Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for Killarney, the Most Honourable Dr. Hubert Minnis, touting his previous administration's economic stewardship during his contribution to the supplementary budget. He referenced concessions and incentives as laid out in the last budget and acknowledged long-term structural issues to be addressed to promote more vigorous economic growth and jobs. The Killarney MP also spoke to financing the country's deficit versus foreign currency, pointing out that foreign exchange
reserves would have been depleted to the point of putting the Bahamian in this pandemic, which meant it would have been great challenges for Bahamians to travel to Bahama. I'm certain that he will do well, and he will have the support of all his parliamentarians, including myself. I would also like to, in their own right, and not many would have had the opportunity to do what they have done. So I congratulate.
Michael Pintard was sworn in as the new leader of the Free National Movement. Pintard takes over after being this morning's brief ceremony at police headquarters. Pintard thanked all those who played a pivotal role in his political...
To follow in the footsteps, because certainly the shoes are extremely large to fill. Maurice Moore, Curtis Macmillan.
Lasting legacy in the country, particularly as it relates to gender equality.
First, in terms of what women have contributed to national development. That is an important tradition we must follow because it cannot be right. Governance of our country. There was an intentional program to accomplish this. And that's why we wait.
Cabinet Minister and parliamentarian Renwood Wells confirming to reporters Monday that he plans to run for a leader.
The deputy leader, but I certainly will pray about it, speak to my family about it.
COVID pandemic and training opportunities on the way for Family Island farmers. We'll be back right after this. At 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
Hear that? Unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate. White Wealth Bank. Built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians. Bahamians helping Bahamians.
BTC spreading Christmas cheer
To everybody whether far or near.
Move to the rhythm of Christmas round.
Did you hear that? Is it Santa?
Bring home BTC Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle for only $99.99 with 157 channels and 150 megabits of speed per second, and your home will be blazing all year long.
This Christmas, make it BTC. It's the better choice for you and me.
Move to the rhythm of Christmas. Move to the rhythm of BTC.
So here you are, saving on the rent. We've got a better idea. Save with our new KFC meal deal. With 2 pieces of chicken, fries, buttery biscuit, and a soda for as low as $6.80, including VAT. The new KFC meal deal, available for delivery, drive-thru, or carry-out. KFC Nassau, so good.
Christmas wishes still come true with a little help from Bank of the Bahamas. Deck the halls this Christmas with the lowest consumer loan rates in the Bahamas. Celebrate and save money by switching to a BOB mortgage or consolidate debt to lower your monthly payments. And for the grown-up kids, BOB offers great rates and terms to make your dream car affordable. Celebrate and save this Christmas with BOB, your bank of solutions.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
As a professional graphic artist,
I work from anywhere in the world. When I travel, I try to keep up with my paperwork and bills as much as possible, utilizing NIB's ESS, or Employee Self-Service Portal, to submit my monthly payments and to upload my contribution statement makes life easier. The portal is pretty easy to use too. I consider it to be user-friendly. It asks all the necessary questions to guide me through uploading my contribution statement, and I like that it calculates my payments. The NIB representative who showed me how to use the portal, she was patient, friendly, and knowledgeable. I used to fill out my contribution statement manually and visit an NIB office every month to make payments. But now the ESS portal allows for the entire process to be completed online in a time-efficient manner. Like, yay, thank you, that's done. You should sign up today at ess@nib-bahamas.com.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
A travel ban to and from countries in southern Africa now in effect as the government monitors the progress of the COVID-19 Omicron variant. Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honourable Chester Cooper, says the government remains committed to the COVID fight.
We have to live with COVID. If we find that we made some error in judgment in terms of the relaxations, we'll adjust them. But right now, we believe that the new rules are working. We promised the Bahamian people that we're going to get out of the state of emergency. We're going to go back to a sense of normalcy. And this is what we're seeking to do. So far, so good. The numbers are down. What we're doing is working. We're expanding free testing. We have some pilot programs running. This is going to continue. We're going to start a very active public education campaign. We think that's important. But we believe that the restrictive measures in certain areas should continue.
A new opportunity for farmers across the country, particularly in Eleuthera. The Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, or CARDI, and the One Eleuthera Foundation Center for Training and Innovation today inked a memorandum of understanding to provide training, education, and employment preparedness to local farmers over the next 5 years. Agriculture, Marine Resources, and Family Island Affairs Minister, the Honourable Clay Sweeting, says the partnership is a significant one.
As the outcome of this relationship solidified today ensures that agriculture on the island of Eleuthera is advanced through the implementation of education, science, and technology. This speaks a lot to the initiative that we intend to promote in this ministry over the next few years. We welcome new, modernized innovations in agriculture. And as Dr. Singh said, we must make it more appealing. 80% of our farmers are over the age of 60. It is very important for myself and this ministry to engage young persons in any solid house is built on a good foundation.
With the country's food import bill pegged at $1 billion annually and food security a critical concern for small island developing states, CARDI Country Representative Dr. Michelle Singh and One Eleuthera Foundation's Mario Smith are confident the MOU is a good move.
The government of the Bahamas is keen to improve domestic production and reduce the country's high food import bill. This MOU will directly address the knowledge gap of stakeholders by developing targeted educational programs for scientists, nutritionists, farmers, extension officers, agripreneurs, and teachers, among others.
On a local level, this agreement translates into practical training and support for the local farmers of Eleuthera, as we help to strengthen the local farming industry through ongoing training, educational workshops, shared resources, and access to the research and industry best practices they need to be competitive, expand operations, and increase their capacity and crop production.
Well, we turn our attention now to news from the crime beat. 2 shootings, 2 victims, 2 investigations, and both taking place right here in the capital. The first matter unfolding Sunday afternoon on Moore Crest, Elizabeth Estates. According to police, a woman heard the sound of gunshots, prompting her to immediately take cover. The woman soon realized she had been shot in her right calf. The victim was taken to hospital, where she's listed in stable condition. A similar incident at the junction of Market Street and Robinson Road. We understand a man was approached by occupants of a white Jeep. One of the passengers reportedly wielded a firearm and opened fire in the man's direction, hitting him in the right thigh and left ankle. His wounds deemed serious. Investigations continue. Meantime, a man arrested last evening for gun possession. This after police executed a search warrant on a home on Mangrove Street off Charles W. Saunders Highway. During the search, one of the officers found a pistol along with 12 unfired rounds of ammunition. The man was consequently arrested and taken into custody in connection with the incident.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, along with other government officials, welcomed the Virgin Atlantic inaugural flight from the UK to the Bahamas.
I want to firstly stand on the established protocols. I want to thank Director General Joy for her introduction. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome Virgin Atlantic to the Bahamas. This is a great day for the Bahamas. This is a great day for Virgin Atlantic. And this is a great day for tourism in our country. And I'm delighted to have this occasion as the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Tourism to welcome Virgin for what I am sure will be a magnificent partnership in the Bahamas, servicing this magnificent market. Today we celebrate Virgin's new twice-weekly flight from the UK to the Bahamas. This inaugural flight could not have come at a more critical, exciting time as we usher in a new day for airlift, even as we continue to aggressively forge ahead in our rebound and recovery efforts following the devastation from Hurricane Dorian and the COVID-19 effects. International travel has been significantly impacted, and it is indeed a pleasure to see Virgin Atlantic join the growing number of air carriers that are restoring connection between travelers and the warm, welcoming people of our country. I have followed the Virgin brand and indeed the growth, and I'm absolutely certain that this initiative will be as successful as many of the other initiatives led by the Virgin organization.
For more information on Virgin Atlantic flights to the Bahamas, visit tourismtoday.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
Having a policy with Bahama Health is more than just health insurance. It's about feeling good knowing that your health and wellness is covered. It's about the confidence you feel knowing that your card is accepted by over 50 pharmacies and 400 local doctors. It's about peace of mind, knowing that when you travel, you have comprehensive coverage and our overseas partner is just a phone call away. It's about the security you feel, knowing that you're an important part of the family.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
Do you want to travel this holiday season? Don't want to miss out on those blockbuster deals? Well, have you gotten your COVID-19 vaccine yet? Time is running out to travel for the holidays, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine may be just what you need. It's one and done. Just one jab of this vaccine, and 2 weeks later, you're fully vaccinated and ready to shop. Protect yourself and your loved ones this holiday season. Schedule your vaccine appointment now.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
It's that time of year again, and Bahamas Welding and Fire has everything you need to transform your home this holiday season. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Trim the tree, hang the family stockings, and gift some Christmas cheer to those you love. From assorted ribbons, garlands, Christmas trees, wreaths, LED lights, holiday props, stockings, and skirts, BWF has the largest selection of all things holly and jolly. And for Santa's little helpers, from kids' bikes to motorized toys, we'll make all their dreams come true. Our helpful staff is waiting to see you. Shop today at BWF. We have all the top brand name tools and kitchen appliances too. Visit our store on number 13 Wilton Street and see for yourself. BWF. We're more than just our name.
Janae's Chesapeake Road Christmas Wonderland is open under the Big Tent. Get your Christmas trees in pink, frosted, green, or white in a variety of sizes. Musical Christmas LED and laser lights, a large variety of tree ornaments, lighted angels and Santa tree toppers, bright and lively colored Christmas balls in all sizes, garlands, wreaths, tree skirts, stockings, and lots more. Add flowers, picks, and decorative mesh to brighten up your home or office this holiday season. And don't forget the toys at Janae's Chesapeake Road. Check our selections online at www.janaes.com.
Equity House held its Art Equity fundraising event for the 4th year in a row this past Sunday. Equity Bank Limited, through its foundation, exposes the work of local artists and assists in community outreach in some way. Wife of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis, viewed the artworks on display at the Caves Village. She even received a piece of art. 15% of sales will go towards the Women's Crisis Center, a move Mrs. Davis applauded.
The Crisis Center is in crisis itself. Overwhelmed with so much to do, so many expenses for supplies, utilities for all the women in their safe houses. The safe houses that the Crisis Center looks after. So that is very important to me, to look after these children and women who are in safe houses in great need of supplies. And to keep the lights on, we have to pay the utilities of some of these places. So I thank you.
Sea grape artist and organizer Sophia McCarroll, along with artist Demi Ubani, thanked those in attendance for their support.
Thank you for all the artists. I know I'm a little tough on some of them, but it's always a success to be with Equity Bank and to show so much of the beauty, because sometimes the world can be quite difficult, so it's so important to stay focused on always looking for the beauty in this world. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope to see you next year. Thank you.
Thank you for coming out and supporting local artists, and also to Equity Trust Bank for providing a platform to expose Bahamian arts and culture, and also providing help towards women and children that are going through certain issues inside their life. Just want to say thank you.
Looking for a possum pet to be the newest member of your family this holiday season? Well, look no further. This is the Bahamas Humane Society gears up to host another adopt-a-thon aimed at encouraging Bahamians to foster instead of shopping for a lovable pet. The adoption fair, scheduled for December 11th and 12th, comes as the non-profit organization has taken in a record number of strays and surrendered pets this year. Pet lovers can visit the center on the December dates to browse for the dog, puppy, and cat bound to be their next family member.
We have a lot of animals here at the Humane Society. We had a recent airlift, but it didn't do much of a dent. People still bring in animals to us. We're still battling the episode of too many animals, not enough adoptions. And again, all the animals are spayed and neutered, and that's a plus. We're trying to cut down on population.
Well, Humane Society General Manager Inspector Percy Grant also explaining the work that goes into adopting any of the shelter's lovable pets.
Well, we will have to, of course, still go through the same criteria, making sure that people are fencing yards and having a doghouse in place. And so this is why we're doing it. We're preparing it now, the public now, so that they have chance to do those little things. They need to start coming in, getting their applications done, because we have to do home checks and just be ready to go.
A Bahamian student receives a prestigious honor as he pursues his studies abroad. Here's Antoine Smith.
There's Times Person of the Year, People's Most Influential, and of course, the coveted title of 30 Under 30, though in this case, we're not quite talking about Forbes.
When I saw that I was actually nominated, I was like, whoa, I was nominated.
Chosen out of a sea of applicants for Atlantic Business Magazine's 30 Under 30 is Bahamian student Templeton Sawyer, an honor bestowed on bright young minds in the Atlantic, Canada for their innovative ideas.
I think it was over 200 applicants. So to be nominated from 200 applicants, I would say to God be the glory, first and foremost, to be a Bahamian ambassador and just to represent my country well.
And he's doing just that, inspiring a transnational audience with his podcast called Tweet the Leader in You, born out of the pandemic and created to give others a voice.
It's sharing the story, and it's developing people who have a story in a unique way. And for me, I always try to allow persons into the space who felt abandoned and persons who didn't have that opportunity to share and tell why they started something.
As it goes, the title 30 Under 30 is a lot to live up to. That doesn't scare Templeton, though, as his goal remains the same, to inspire.
Sometimes you're going into that vision, you're going into that dream by yourself, and that's okay. Once you have faith in God, most importantly, and what you have your passion in line, it's all good. It all starts with a passion.
Antoine Smith, ZNS Network News.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Her Excellency Mrs. Gladys Anna Martin, Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training of Bahamas.
Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, Gladys Anna Martin, addressed UNESCO's 41st General Conference in Paris, France on November 11th, 2021. There, she reaffirmed the Bahamas' commitment to the goals of the UN agency. Hannah Martin told attendees of the devastating effects of successive hurricanes, including Dorian in 2019, and the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and its negative impact on education. She thanked UNESCO for its assistance to address it.
We are most appreciative for the work of UNESCO in its provision of critical data, timely research, and considered recommendations to help redress the challenges we face and help us to build upon our own strengths. The work and support of UNESCO during this difficult period in human history cannot be overstated.
While the focus was education, the 193 countries represented also addressed climate change. Hannah Martin noted that global warming makes the low-lying Bahamas among the 10 most vulnerable nations.
Dorian was the culminant of a series of devastating hurricanes, each of which left massive physical and economic destruction in their aftermath in various parts of our country. We are hopeful that members will see the value of our experiences, our unique insight to the values and ideals as articulated by UNESCO as valuable inputs to the higher participation of decision-making.
For Ed Talk, I am Vaughn Aubrey.
Remember to like and subscribe to our social media platforms.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Value and quality supermarkets have all your favorite brands and no limits. Muller's cut macaroni, 16-ounce, 2 for $3.79. Hunt's ketchup, 32-ounce, $2.79. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, 89 cents per pound. Yellow onions, 3-pound bag, $2.89. Pork chop ends, $2.39 per pound. 15 VAT-free items in this week's specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
COVID-19 attacked our personal and national psyche. We fought back. We adjusted our consciousness so that we could wrap our minds around the impossible and unbelievable things we were going through. But guess what? Nobody escaped. That means there was nobody who was too pretty, too cute, too important, too holy, or too rich to escape the mental trauma and battering of COVID-19. We can allow COVID-19 to destroy us or defeat us, or we can make a decision right now to act in a manner that supports wellness for ourselves and for the nation. So let's act to restore and sustain our personal sense of well-being and our national mental health status. We're all involved. It's that important.
The busy Thanksgiving holiday weekend has ended, but visitor numbers are expected to climb even more so as tourists head to the sunny Isles of the Bahamas for the Christmas holidays. And hotels across Eleuthera are preparing, according to tourism's general manager there, Jacqueline Gibson.
We have Cape Eleuthera Resort, and they're doing quite well, not just with in-house visitors, but you know, they have a marina in that area as well. I haven't checked on the figures on what they're expecting, but I think they're positioned to do really well with their marina business in South Eleuthera. The Cove Eleuthera has been closed for quite a while, and now they're opening for business December 20th, and they're quite excited about that. Well, they would not open, they're not planning to open with all of their rooms, but I'm told they should open with 21 of their ocean view rooms.
Tourism's Assistant Manager in Exuma, Peter Williams Jr., meantime giving us this outlook for December.
Hotels are expecting high occupancy rate with the arrival of Air Canada service to Exuma. We are anticipating an even greater number of arrivals this season. Exuma is the haven for yachtsmen, floats, and winter residents alike. These groups of people, what I would say, usually contribute to the local economy through the local restaurants, sports bar, grocery stores, car rentals, etc.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Well, thank you, Makisha. Outside of our studios, we are under partly cloudy skies, temperature at 72 degrees. Your relative humidity, 73%. We have north-northeast winds at 8 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,015.0 millibars. That's 30.00 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 68 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green, Torquay, and Marshall, Barbados. The Berry Islands at 74. 71 degrees in Alistown, Bimini, 76 in Harbor Island, Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 75, also Black Point, Exuma, and Kemp Spur, St. Andrews at 75 degrees, and Fresh Creek, Central Andrews, they have a temperature of 76 degrees. 76 in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, Georgetown, 77, 78 in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Maguana, 79, Ackland, 79, Matthewtown, Inaugural, 80 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. For all areas tonight, right through Wednesday, you can anticipate a north to northeast flow at 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide will take place at 9:29 tonight. You can expect a second low tide at 10:06 tomorrow morning. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures. And they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells time and jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Showing up is in our DNA. When we opened our doors 5 years ago, we introduced Bahamians to a higher standard of service. We provided an option for one of the most critical services that people use to stay connected with their loved ones. After that, we kept showing up for you with innovation, excellent customer service, and in your communities where you needed us the most. Thank you for choosing us to lead the Bahamian technology revolution.
Alive is a team of dedicated people who are here to serve you. I've been with the team since the beginning 5 years ago. And the part that stands out the most for me is the way we've always come together to provide the best possible service for you. We strived on being there when you need us and to delight when you least expect it. Thank you for being part of this journey. Happy anniversary.
$20 deposit, you're entered to win cash.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Wait, that's you?
Girl, don't be calling my name in public like that. What you saying?
Hey, radio, why are you?
I come to get my car license.
Yeah, but you don't have to be here?
No?
No, you could just go to My Gateway. My Gateway is a fast, easy, and secure way to access and pay all government services online.
So what you do?
I went to mygateway.gov.bs, registered with a government-issued ID, and bam, I was done. I scheduled an appointment, and in less than 20 minutes, I was straight.
Oh, shoot.
Do you want to travel this holiday season? Don't want to miss out on those blockbuster deals? Well, have you gotten your COVID-19 vaccine yet? Time is running out to travel for the holidays, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine may be just what you need. It's one and done. Just one jab of this vaccine, and 2 weeks later, you're fully vaccinated and ready to shop. Protect yourself and your loved ones this holiday season. Schedule your vaccine appointment now.
This is ZNS Total Sports. This portion of the news brought to you by Genuine Care, keeping you home while you're away.
Welcome to sports, everyone. Well, the two teams that will do battle in the 2021 Bahamas Bowl have been confirmed. Middle Tennessee State University will represent Conference USA, and Toledo will represent the Mid-American Conference, as both institutions accepted bids on Sunday to the 2021 Bahamas Bowl, set to take place Friday, December 17th at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. Bahamas Bowl will be played at 11 a.m. and will be televised on ESPN. Middle Tennessee State heads into the game 6-6, 4-4 in the CUSA. Toledo is at 7-5 and finished 5-3 in the MAC. They will play for the Prime Minister's Trophy. Now it will be a return to the Bahamas for both schools, as the Blue Raiders participated in the 2015 game and the Rockets in 2018. The Rockets fell 35-32 to FIU in the 2018 edition of the game, the program's most recent bowl appearance. Middle Tennessee took the track to Nassau in 2015, but couldn't claim the trophy as Western Michigan prevailed 45-31. Whichever team emerges victorious will win its first ever Bahamas Bowl. Now, the Bahamas Bowl, which will kick off the 2021 bowl season, is the longest running international bowl game in college football history. And in flag football news, we recently caught up with the vice president on how things have been shaping up, as the league has been in a hiatus ever since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic.
They're eager. They're, a lot of them, during the downtime, they, had a lot of, downtime and, weren't really practicing. But I can tell you, a lot of teams, a lot of players, they're anxious to get back on the field. But again, we understand the situation that we're in. But the intensity and the overall anticipation is there. So we're fingers crossed, hopefully soon we can...
On the hardwood, the Bahamas men's national basketball team losing their first of two games against Canada, part of the latest qualifying window for the FIBA World Cup. Canada took down the Bahamas 115-73 at the Palacio de los Deportes in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic on Sunday. It's the third straight win for Canada over the Bahamas in 3 games over the past 4 years. 2 in the 2019 World Cup qualifiers, and again on Sunday. The Bahamas was competitive early on, leading by 4 points twice in the opening minutes, but Canada closed the first quarter on a 12-2 scoring run and never looked back. They led 32-22 after the first quarter, and after the Bahamas briefly got back to within single digits at the start of the second, Canada went on another run to open nearly a 20-point lead midway through the second. Dominic Bridgewater paced the Bahamas with 13 points. David Nesbitt added 12, and Michael Thompson had 11. And that's been a look at sports. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
We're ready with the newly remodeled reception area. We're ready with your safety as our top priority. We're ready with state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and an enhanced patient information platform with online access to your reports for your physician. At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we're ready to serve you. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call to make an appointment today.
Imagine what it would be like if there wasn't a referee. That's why we have a referee, to make sure that we all play fair. As an independent regulator, IRCA has been working with consumers and service providers since 2009 to ensure that the regulated sectors are well managed and that everyone's interests are fairly represented. That way, we all get to play on an even playing field. IRCA, improving lives through effective utilities regulation.
Do you want to travel this holiday season? Don't want to miss out on those blockbuster deals? Well, have you gotten your COVID-19 vaccine yet? Time is running out to travel for the holidays, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine may be just what you need. It's one and done. Just one jab of this vaccine, and 2 weeks later, you're fully vaccinated and ready to shop. Protect yourself and your loved ones this holiday season. Schedule your vaccine appointment now.
Spreading Christmas cheer to everybody whether far or near. Move to the rhythm of Christmas round.
Did you hear that? Is it Santa?
Bring home BTC Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle for only $99.99 with 157 channels and 150 megabits of speed per second, and your home will be blazing all year long. This Christmas, make it BTC. It's the better choice for you and me. Move to the rhythm of Christmas.
I'm here at the Dixon Hill Lighthouse in San Salvador to let you know that marine protected areas make dollars and cents. A well-designed and managed network of protected areas can generate income for nearby communities. From MPA managers to lodges to eco-tours, there is money to be made.
Healthy marine ecosystems help to protect our islands from climate change and other impacts that we cannot control. Healthy coral reefs help to break down big waves, and mangroves absorb storm surge and help to protect our coastline.
Older and larger fish tend to carry more and healthier eggs than younger fish. Fish replenishment areas will allow fish to grow bigger and ensure that we have more fish now and in the future.
In our replenishment area, fish are free to grow and reproduce. As their populations increase, more fish will spill over into other areas where fishermen can increase their catch and their income.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island, and you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
See the future with Bahamas Protected.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we have just over 24 hours remaining in the tropical cyclone season, and the tropics remain quiet tonight. But we do have a weak fall boundary which pushed through the northwest Bahamas this morning. It's now making its way into the central Bahamas without much fanfare. Maybe one or two very brief showers can pop up along that frontal boundary tonight as it makes its way across the central Bahamas. Behind that, high pressure will remain in control with some relatively light winds. Our forecast for tonight, we're going in for partly cloudy and mild conditions. Your low temperature a comfortable 66 degrees. Last night, by the way, we got down to 62 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at partly sunny, very pleasant, high temperature about 78 degrees, and your extended weather forecast getting you back up into the low 80s right through the 7-day cycle. Those nighttime temperatures are going to keep you in the 60s into Tuesday. Thereafter, things start to warm up slightly, but we'll hold you in the low 70s right into Sunday before we get back into the 60s. But just before we leave, my younger brother Sean celebrated a birthday today, so from his siblings, we wish you a swell day.
Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. And as we celebrate our 44th year of television broadcasting, it feels great to be your home. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS